Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of, I want to say Chats in the Block Cabin, but it's not Chats in the Block Cabin because it's a reel about Women's History Month, because you know Women's History is, we're living it every day. Every bit of history is women's history. Men would not be here without women because women had to give birth to men, so think about that. Also too, it's 31 days of 31 questions for women. I answer the question first, and then I throw the mic or phone over to speak to a friend or someone I admire or inspires me, and they answer the same question. Now the question today is, when did you feel like you didn't measure up, and how did you move forward? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I literally felt like that my whole childhood. I never felt like I measured up. I was the youngest of 4 girls. One was the very smart girl, one was the happy-go-lucky girl, one was the pretty, strong girl, so I kind of fell into the athletic girl. Not really, I wasn't really athletic, but I kind of fell into that mold because that's how I bonded with my dad so close, as a Boston Red Sox baseball, playing softball, but I never really felt like I measured up as a daughter or for my mom. I never really felt like I measured up to my sisters as being a sister, that because I felt like I was being pushed into a mold that I could not fit into, and I didn't want to fit into, but I felt like I had to fit into to keep the peace. And it wasn't until I hit, like yesterday's episode said, until I hit 50 that I realized that I wasn't living for me. I wasn't living how I wanted to live, and I was miserable in my life. And that's when I started changing things, and I started going more into my faith, more into realizing that there are things about me that are strong, and there are things about me that I don't like, that I want to change, and I'm currently going through that and changing. And I'm not saying I'm sorry for every little thing in the world, because I'm not taking on all the guilt. And that's the biggest thing for me, is I felt like I was taking on the guilt of everybody, and I felt like it was up to me to say I'm sorry, or the situation would never get resolved. And so now it's like, okay, I'm sorry for my part of it, but I'm not taking all the blame, and that's all I can do. And so basically you grow a lot, and once you hit 50, people said that once you hit 50s you really don't give a flying fig about anything. And honestly, it was so freeing, because 50 became my era of growth. Having my books, having currently in the process, the third one's coming out, having that being contributed on Proverbs 31's newsletter last week, doing that, things that I was told that I needed to choose things better and my words better, when I pray over my words, when I write words. So it's not like I'm doing things to hurt people, but I'm telling my truth, and I'm not sugarcoating anymore, but I'm doing it in a way that's true to me and not true to what everybody else thinks I should be. So with that said, I'm so glad that the randomizer picked this person out to answer the question alongside me, because this person encourages me so much. We have a monthly Get Ready, Get Dressed With Me challenge, which I get so excited about on Instagram. Oh my gosh, I just love it, because I am literally like picking outfits out, and it's making me be a little bit more creative with my outfits. Also finding things in my closet that I didn't even know that existed. You know, you have so many clothes you forget. So today I want to shoot it over to my friend Marissa. Marissa is amazing. I love her to death. She actually was one of the very first people, when I first had the first part of the Block Cabin, that she came up to me, and she was very, very like at an event, and she's like, oh, I stalk you, you're the one with the Block Cabin. And from that point on, she just has endeared in my heart, and I just love her to death, and I know you will too. So without further ado, I hand over the mic to Marissa.
Hi, I'm Marissa in Raleigh, and my question is, when did you feel like you didn't measure up, and how did you move forward? I'm really excited to be a part of your celebration of women, Melissa. There was a season in my life where I felt really behind. I was still renting while most of my friends had already bought their first homes. Some were even on their second homes. And I remember smiling through conversations about renovations and interest rates and all of those things while quietly feeling like I didn't measure up. And it wasn't even just about the house, it was deeper than that. I also felt really behind financially. I didn't grow up with strong financial literacy in my household, so I was learning things in my 30s that other people already seemed to know, and I just felt really behind. I had to work really hard to repair my credit and understand budgeting and building habits and just what would create stability for my family. And for a while, comparison stole my joy. You know, I was measuring my beginning against someone else's middle. And so, what helped me to move forward was shifting my focus from comparison to ownership. And instead of asking why I was behind, I started asking, what could I control? And I educated myself. I got disciplined. I made long-term decisions instead of emotional ones. I'm not perfect. I still do some emotional shopping sometimes. But, you know, eventually from all of that, I was able to buy our first home and, more importantly, just build some confidence and financial awareness. And that's something that nobody can take away from me. And that's just been such a blessing. And I truly believe that being behind usually just means that you're on a different timeline, and that timeline is yours and it's still valid. And again, comparing where you are to someone else's middle, maybe their end, is it's just going to hurt in the long run. Just focus on where you are and how you get to point B, C, D, etc. So thank you again, Melissa, Marissa, and Raleigh. If you want to follow, take care.